Hey there, thank you so much for joining us on this week's Good News. We are sitting down with Brenda Cicerello, who is a part of the amazing group of people for the Washington County, is it just Washington County Nutrition Team? Okay, that is overall the nutrition for the Washington County schools. And she has some really good news to share with you today. So Brenda, can you tell us a little bit about what you and the team there at the Washington County Nutrition does?
Uh, we are feeding kids. The USDA has approved to feed kids for free, and we are allowed to do that with children 0 to 18. So our school is open, and we serve either a hot or a cold breakfast, and then we serve a hot lunch in all of the schools in Washington County are doing this.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So so the kids don't even have to go to school there.
No,
So any kid from 0 to 18 can get a free breakfast and lunch
Yes.
during this time.
Yes.
Okay. What times do they pick up?
At each school, it's the same time, and it's at different locations at each school, but it's from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. They can get a hot lunch and then a cold breakfast at the same time.
Okay, that's awesome. So for someone listening right now, can you go into a little bit more? Talk a little bit more how much impact this is really having, because a lot of people listening right now are like, we're doing fine financially. We can buy all our lunches and breakfasts and everything, and might not see this as that important. But I would love to hear a little bit more personal of why this is so much of a need right now.
Well, for one thing, it supports our program and it helps us. The more kids we feed, the better it is for our program. But just the COVID hitting and what it has done to our community, whether you're rich or whether you're poor, it impacts you in a way. And our program reaches more than just feeding kids. It's when the parent comes to pick up. Sometimes the kids are with them, and sometimes they're not. But it's good for them to see. A lot of them are virtual, so it's good for them just to come to the school. Just to get out. They've called it field trips. They've called it multiple things. But and the kids love seeing the people that they're familiar with. If it's their school, if it's not, we have homeschool kids that come and pick up, and we call them regulars, that come, and it's good for them. Whether you're not financially crunched right now, but it helps. Especially the hot meal. A lot of parents don't fix a hot lunch. But at school, that's where you can get a good nutritious hot meal.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, something I love hearing the stories. I know stories connect so well with people. So I would love to hear, because you're doing this every single day.
Yes.
With the team of people there. I would love to hear maybe some stories of what you have seen actually handing out the meals, and maybe even talking, a little bit with the parents or students. I would love to hear any stories you have for that.
We have pickup at the back door, and the team that does that have connected with the parents that come through. They when they come by, they just want to get out. The food is just an extra a lot of times, and we have grown very close to some of the parents that are coming by, and just they'll tell you their hurts, and we've gotten to listen to them. And during this time, one family in particular has just been crushed. So many things that have taken them through this. Loss of, yeah, just a lot, just lost, and they come through and they they just want to be uplifted, and that's what they get when they come through. I don't know. I have, and I don't know how we can get this, but one of the families that comes through, you can pick up for multiple families because the kids don't have to be in the car. So on a regular basis, she picks up for her family and then picks up for another family. And through that, we're getting to bless this family, and then that family gets to bless another family, which is awesome. We've also connected them with Second Food Harvest. We send messages when when you can pick up for that, and that has helped tremendously. Second Food Harvest dropped boxes this summer for us to hand out, and that was a huge blessing for the families that got to receive
Yeah, that's
those
awesome.
boxes.
That's great. Yeah, we did our Project Thanksgiving through 88.3 with the Second Harvest Food Bank, and they were giving us some statistics of how, like, it was an additional 10,000 monthly families needed help because of COVID and how it's caused so much additional hardships. So providing free meals for kids and for the families is so important right now. Because of that, and just being able to pull up, like, that's awesome. I honestly, I didn't know that outside, like, you can just come and grab food. I thought it was just for the students. So I know that someone listening right now thought it was just for the students going to that particular school. But if you have, like, for me, I have, Rosie, she's 3, so we could go and get meal for her and not just Ezra, who's in school.
Yes, every day, Monday through Friday. You can pick that up. On Friday, you can also pick up for the weekend. We're feeding children on the weekend as well. So not only on Fridays, you get 3 meals. Those other 2 meals are cold, but it's still something to get these kids through the weekend. We also bus food out. We have 3 buses and that the buses are just going out of the base kitchens. So you do have to sign up for that to get that delivered. And then we're also feeding daycares right now. We started that 2 weeks ago. We can, feed. We just want to feed children. And that was wonderful when we got to do that. Had a call in the daycare that it helped them so much. It helps the parents so much to be able to provide that meal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and every little bit helps.
Yes.
And
yes,
it is kind of crazy to think about, because I know, a lot of us don't know how big of a need it is. But which, my wife Kelly, and where she works for DCS, and she said it's crazy how many kids, because of having to go virtual, the school was their meals.
Right.
That was their meals, and now they're struggling more, and the kids aren't eating, and a lot of people don't even think about that. They don't think, you can eat lunch at school, but you can eat at home too. But for a lot of kids, they don't get that. So being able to provide that and busing food out, and even daycares, like that's amazing what you all are doing. So that's good news. That's all what we're about here. Now I would love to know. Now we're going to link to everything in the description of this video. So if you're listening right now and not watching this, make sure you head over to our YouTube channel. It's just WCQR on YouTube, and we'll put the links, phone numbers, emails, any information on locations. We can put the addresses and everything so that you can know where to find this right now, to find out what schools they're doing, the times, and everything. So just WCQR on YouTube, and click on this video with Brenda Cicerello, and you'll find all that. But for those listening right now, do you have any of the information you could share as far as like an email or a website?
Yes, it's on the Washington County page, homepage.
Okay.
They can go to that Washington County homepage.
Okay. So just like Washington County schools?
Washington County Department of Education
Okay.
homepage,
Okay.
and they can find the listings of that. Also, we're on Facebook. Washington County Department of Education Nutrition is also on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay.
That they can find that information.
Perfect. Okay.
And even listing our menu.
Okay.
So our menu is posted on there, and because some kids like some food, better than others,
Yeah.
and so it lets you know, especially the days that your children, would enjoy that food.
Yeah. Yeah. Pizza day.
Yes, absolutely,
Probably
absolutely.
every kid's favorite, right?
Brunch at lunch.
Yeah,
is
definitely
a
awesome.
big-
Now we've talked about the needs for the kids and the families. I would love to hear, this is one I mentioned earlier, but I would love to hear what it's done for you and for everyone involved in this, because you're serving. I mean, you're able to literally provide potentially the only meals that the kids might be eating.
There's nothing better than to feed children.
Mhm.
And when this all started, we didn't miss a beat.
Yeah.
We were ready, literally the next day to start feeding kids in a way we've never done before.
Yeah.
And we just hit the ground and started doing it, and tried to get the word out the best possible. Still, like you said, people don't know, exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun to do what we do.
Yeah.
It's working with a team that top notch,
Yeah.
best people that I've ever worked with to do it, and we all are in it for the same reason as for the kids.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful to be able to do that, especially right now.
Yeah.
When they need it the most.
Definitely. That's awesome. Now, another question, too, that some people might be listening, because, we have people listening from, all over the place. This is specific. This is Washington County.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have to live in Washington County?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if they're in Sullivan County, Carter County, Johnson County even,
Yes.
and they're listening right now, they can drive over to Washington County schools and pick up the meals still?
Yes, absolutely,
Okay. That's
absolutely.
awesome.
We don't ask questions. We do want to, for our integrity, it is for children, as much as but it is to a program that feeds children only. So that's the only requirement
Yeah.
for
Awesome.
that.
Okay. Now, how many people are involved? Because I follow you on Facebook. I see all the photos, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to interview you is, and we have picked up meals before and seen you, which is great.
Yes.
But your just excitement and your joy to do this is incredible. And I've seen some of your team. But how many people are actually doing this, or that are on the team?
Well, each school has different amount of employees depending on how many they feed.
Yeah.
At my school, we have 7 at my school.
Yeah, and you're at which?
Boones Creek Elementary.
Boones Creek Elementary. Okay,
Yes.
So that's the new building.
It is.
That they built.
It is.
Okay.
It's
Yes.
beautiful.
It is. It is very nice. So you feed kids only 0 to 18, no matter if they go to school there or not, no matter if they're even in that county. So if someone's listening, it's like, hey, we really need help, but we live in Carter County, they can head over and pick up meals Monday through Friday, and then on Friday they get meals for the weekend.
Yes, they do.
So they literally get 7 days worth of meals.
They could. Yes, they could.
Yeah, if
they have
they
to
come.
come. Yes.
Okay.
But now I don't know. I think all the counties are doing this.
Are they? Okay.
And I don't have the schools,
Mhm.
but I mean this is statewide. This isn't.
Oh, okay.
This
I
isn't
didn't know that.
just Washington County.
Gotcha.
um,
Okay.
But and as far as I know, they're all because we can feed them for free.
Yeah.
So it's called an I don't want to misspeak. I'm almost certain that every
Okay.
but
I'll
anyway,
look
yes,
into that and
yeah,
see.
look into that.
So if so, I'll
to-
put the links in the
Okay.
video
Yes.
for everyone to see if it's all statewide, because that
Yes,
would be
yes, it is. I know that the
That'd be
USDA. It's
Mhm.
you know their deal. So
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I love that. I love of all the good you're doing. I love the joy that you have doing it. It really just, it brings me joy seeing that. And I think that's one of the most important things right now is we need to
Yes.
see more joy. We need to see more good. So I encourage
It's
everyone
contagious. It's
listening.
contagious.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. So
That's
I
what we
encourage
want.
anyone listening right now, follow Brenda on social media. I'm going to post some photos of kind of what you've posted on social media, if that's okay.
Yes,
Just
yes.
to see your joy, just to see your the whole team's joy.
Yes.
Because it really is contagious. And it really just, every time, I mean, my wife will see it and she's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I do have one more story. I don't know if
Yeah,
you want to
for
put it
sure.
in. We had a lady that called and was asking, because we're feeding around back now at my kitchen, not everyone knows how to go back there. So she had called and I spoke with her and she was wondering which schools are feeding, and I told her, that mine was. And I said, but wherever you're closest to, which school you're closest to, and but she came and got food, and her son actually wrote a letter, in appreciation to what that meant, just to come pick up food, and it was just, he wrote a letter, just to thank. And I have them in my office. I have them, where they're visible, and
Yeah,
so it's really, really cool.
that's awesome.
Really
And
cool.
it is the little things. So, sometimes we might not think a meal is that big of a deal, but it really can. I mean, that this kid might now remember this for the rest of his life. He might remember swinging by the school during the pandemic and picking up a meal and seeing how excited you all are to be able to do this,
Yes.
to be able to serve, to be able to provide for the kids in our community. And that's amazing. Now, I'd love to give you one last chance to share anything that you have on your heart that you would love to share with our listeners right now. I kind of want to give you that opportunity to do so. Just if there's anything you would like to add to it.
It's a blessing to be able to do what we get to do, having the health to do it during this time. Has been wonderful. I'm so thankful that my team has been healthy this whole time, and we're just trying to stay in the course and do what we're supposed to do. We wear our mask, we wear gloves, do everything that we can do to protect the ones that we come in contact with. That's very important too. It's safe to come by and pick up the food. We make sure of that. But just being able to continue to work keeps my mind off of this very difficult time on so many people, and on our system. Our kids are suffering, not being able to go to school, and being able. I feel like I still get to connect with them. I miss them. I miss them coming in and getting to see all their little faces. But this is what we're doing right now. Is going to help us to get through until we get to see those little faces coming through the line again. So, and we will. We'll get through this and come out better.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. Well, thank you so much, Brenda. Thank you for taking the time and sharing your heart and sharing just the good that you all are providing for the community right now.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.